Welcome everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to the Blue Sea, the most gorgeous creation of the creator in this universe, the earth and the sea. So today I'll discuss about the wetting inspections, sire inspection, PSC inspection, CDI inspection, which normally occurs in oil tankers, oil chemical tankers and all kinds of vessels, normally other vessels like car carriers, bulk carriers. PSC inspections important for all others, but for oil chemical vessels, your sire inspection, wetting inspection, CDI inspection is very important. So I'll talk about all of this. So let's go. So if you are second officer, obviously this chapter 4 of BIQ is under you, navigation and communications. You have to go through all these options so that you will make sure your vessel has no observation during wetting inspection. So let's go. So here you will find so many other options, like from 4.1 to your last one is 4.27. so all these options I will discuss with you very clearly and shortly, so you will understand everything. So let's go discuss the equipments that is actually in my bridge. So I'll discuss one by one, that is in order. So first of all, you can see this echo sounder. So when an inspector will come, they will check your depth alarm in the echo sounder, also the depth settings, and also are you using this one as you are approaching to port or coastal or narrow channels. So it's very important. So when you are approaching to narrow channels or coastal areas or in berth, obviously you will switch on, and as per the dangers you will set the interval also. So when you are switching on and switching off the echo sounder, obviously you have to write down in this paper. It's very important. They'll check when you are switching on and switching off, and also the recorded should be there, all the recording should be there. So in your echo sounder you go and check for your depth setting and depth alarm. So depth alarm also you have to check. So when you are in berth or in a tankerage, any inspector comes, they will ask you to check your depth alarm also. So suppose you have under clearance 6 meter, and if you change it to 7 meter, you will get alarm in your echo sounder. So that is very important. Okay, so these three things are these important things, just keep it in your mind, whatever I have told you. Okay, so next equipment is your this Naptex. So when any inspector is coming, they will check you that you are using correct nav area or not. So make sure you are using correct nav area, also the stations, your international stations and local stations. So basically it is set as per your route. So whenever you are going port to port, you check your route and you also check your nav area which covered your route. Okay, so from where you will get the nav area you will get from your LRS volume. Okay, so you can see this LRS volume. So LRS volume 1345 when you open this ADP. Okay, so here you can see you will activate this Naptex button. So whichever is your route, you will just select your that station. Suppose you are going through this Miami, so if you click this Miami, so you will see one chart is there. So you will check this chart and you select your nav areas and stations. You can see the nav area 4 and your stations. The red color is primary station, international stations, and the other color is, you can see the blue color is your local stations. So obviously you will set your international stations, main stations and local stations. So now we have come to the set C. So set C, when inspector come, obviously he can check your nav area also here, that you are using which nav area and which stations you are using here. Okay, so you select as per where you are. Okay, so you select the channel and also you select the nav areas. So in the set C you can see this setup options, setup here and setup in the keyboard. Okay, so you press the setup and you can see EGC setup, enter, then you will see your nav area here, your nav area. Okay, so you fix your nav area here. So after you fix this nav area, you will get those nav area warnings. It's very important, huh? So you fix this nav area, and also you fix your channels, which ocean you are, Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean. So you will get your nav area warnings. Okay. So one more thing about MFHF. This is MFHF. Now, obviously you will do your daily test, weekly test, monthly test. Okay, so all these tests, when inspector come, they will also check. So make sure you're doing all the tests, you're signing. And also offload download test, you have to do offload download test also. And you keep records and show your inspector. One more thing inspector will check, that is everybody is checking your all the warnings and weather forecast or not. For this reason, always remember your all nav area warnings, weather forecast, NAPTEX warnings. So everything should be signed by all the officers and also by captain, so that everybody is reading and they have understood. So that is the proof. Also you keep records of your all nav area warnings and weather forecast, NAPTEX warnings, forecast, everything in another file. Okay, so those also they can ask you to check. After that, course recorder. If you have digital course recorder, then you have to sign, okay, whenever you are departing and also arriving in port, so that your heading and your all courses are recorded properly in the course recorder. Okay, so in the course recorder, you know whatever you have to mark in the course recorder. So every noontime also you check your course recorder, noontime your position, date, time, okay, and your heading checked, found okay, and signed by your duty officer. Then you can see the GPS. When the inspector will come, they will check your GPS datum. So make sure you are using proper GPS datum. So in GPS, when you enter menu, then go to system setting, okay, and you enter system setting. Then you go to GNS and you can see your datum. So you can see here WGS84 datum. So use WGS84 datum. So that is the most important thing during inspection. Then regarding your AIS, make sure that when you are in port, you are using low power in port. So normally in some AIS you have a 1 watt option, and if no have 1 watt option, so in some AIS if you put it on mode, then automatically it will be in low watt. So make sure in AIS you are using low watt. And regarding your BDR, voice data recorder, make sure you have no alarm in BDR. So, and also you have to know about how you will take out BDR information. We have when you have any distress, so how you have to extract the information. Also you have to know, and the procedure should be there. Okay, so make sure you have the procedure and you know how to take out your your BDR recordings. And regarding VHF also same thing. When you are in port, make sure you are putting it on low power. So you can see high low options here. So this is for normally low power. Okay, so when you press it, it will show you low. When you press again, it will show you high power. So when you are in port, put it on low power. Inspector will check this one also. So this is the main important thing. Your IGDIS, this is also very important, and this is actually most important thing, IGDIS. So there is various things in the IGDIS that you have to be careful, because inspector will ask you so many things. So now I will tell you whatever the things the inspector can ask you regarding IGDIS. So first of all, inspector will come and they will ask you to check your last previous voyage. So you show your previous voyage, make sure you have all the things ready in your passage plan. So I have my another video also, I have described elaborately in those videos how to prepare yourself for wedding inspections, site inspections, city inspection, or field inspections regarding this IGDIS. But here also I will discuss about this. So in IGDIS, first of all, you make sure you have correct chart alert options. Your safety settings, shallow contour, safety depth, safety contour, or deep contour. Make sure you are using correct tell of these items. This is very important. So obviously your dip contour is twice of your deepest draft. Suppose if you have draft 11 meters, so your dip contour should be 22 meter, and you have 12 meter draft, then your dip contour is 24 meter. So my vessel draft is 12 meter, so I am using 24 meter, twice of the vessel's deepest draft. Okay, then make sure that you are using your look ahead settings properly. So this depends on your company policies, whatever you have look ahead setting. Okay, so make sure you are using correctly your look ahead settings. Then make sure that you are using correct UKC limit, and draft also you have changed in your UKC informations of IGDIS. And obviously make sure you are using correct CPA TCPS as advised by your master in the master standing order, and also your vectors you are using correctly. Then if your IGDIS has the option so that all the NAPTEX warnings will be automatically ported from NAPTEX to IGDIS, so make sure you are using correctly your NAPTEX options. Put tick mark so that all your NAPTEX warnings from NAPTEX to IGDIS will come automatically and will be plotted automatically. Make sure all the EIOs, TNPs are correctly tick marked on the IGDIS option so that you will get all the TNPs shown on your IGDIS. If you don't tick mark it, so it will not be shown on your IGDIS. And make sure that when you are navigating, the scale minimum option is off. Okay, so that is also more important. Also your inspector will ask you what is the scale minimum, so you have to know about this. Then they will ask you your company UKC policies. Then they will ask you about your IGDIS safety settings, so make sure you know about all this. Also they will ask you about the IGDIS chart 1, so also make sure you know about how to show your IGDIS chart 1. So in my another video I have shown you in Furuno IGDIS how you can show IGDIS chart 1, so you can see that video also. And when you are doing your passage plan on the IGDIS, also make sure you have plotted very important things about line contingency planning when you are approaching to any port or narrow channels. Then also you have position plotting intervals, then bridge watch labels, then CPA TCPS also marked on the chart, also marked no-go areas, and also marked how you will plot your positions, visual, radar or by GPS. Also make sure you have clearing lines marked on the chart. These are all the important things you have to keep in your mind, because navigator as a navigator you have to mark this, or as an inspector they will ask you, they can check this all things. And also they can ask you to show you radar overlay on the IGDIS, and also they can check the playback, so you have to know how to check the playback options on IGDIS. And if they ask you also, you show them about your radar overlay. So in your overlay options, radar overlay, if you switch on this one, then whatever you have in your radar, those will be reflected on the IGDIS. So that is called radar overlay. You can see already echoes of the radar has come. So when you're in port, nearby your coastal areas, so you can see all the lands and also targets nearby you. So you have to know about these overlay options. And also you plot all the nav area warnings on your IGDIS, so inspector will come and check that you are plotting or not your nav area warnings. So this is Banvas. Regarding your Banvas, inspector will ask you and he can check also the intervals are correct, and that is always switch on during the buoys, but in port it will be switched off by master. So every time whenever you will ask you, do you know the password of this, or don't try to show him that you know the password. So you tell, I don't know the password, master only knows the password. So master switched it on and master switched it off. So also you record it down on your official logbook when you are switching on, switching off by the master. And before bedding inspection also you check that this Banvas is giving alarm to your cabins, master cabin or officer's cabin after definite interval time, or as per the regulations it's giving alarm when not reset by the duty officers. So I think you know about the Banvas Beach navigational watch alarm system. So that's about the one bus. Make sure you don't know the password, captain knows the password in front of inspector, and also check the one bus settings that it is giving alarm every after 12 minutes if it is not reset. And also there's some other regulations, you read it on the manual and make sure it's correct as per the settings. Regarding autopilot, you have to set of course alarm, and also you have to show the inspector that your of course alarm is working properly. So you can check it on the sea when you are at voyage, and you can also record, because in port maybe you will not be able to do it because your ship's heading will not be changed. So in your port or berth you will be moored, so that is not possible. So you can record it on the sea, and later you can show to your inspector that at sea you have done it, you have set your of course alarm limit, and you have checked that when the vessel goes off the course it will give you alarm. Make sure that your all the blowers are okay, blowers are working fine, and all your navigation lights, signal lights, then your LDS lamp also working fine. Make sure that you are using both steering motors when you are coastal areas or when you are in channel or approaching to berth, because as per your company policy you have to switch on both steering motors when you are in approaching port or you are approaching to coastal areas. So in radar also obviously you will check for your limits, CPA TCPA limits. Okay, also you check for your all the alarm settings, all is working fine. Never put it silent, anything. Okay, do not put it on silent mode. Regarding your navigation light, signal lights checking, you must have to know about how to check that fuse alarm. Okay, so normally fuse alarms at the back side of your navigational lights panel, you have to take out that fuse, so it will give you alarm. So that is the thing also. Sometimes obviously your inspector will ask you then how you will test your navigational lights or signal lights alarm, how you will test. Okay, so that is not buzzer lamp test or buzzer stop test, that is actually fuse testing. So your all the navigational lights, suppose forward masthead light, you can see at the back side of your panel you will have such kind of fuse. So if you take out this fuse, the navigational light will give you alarm. Okay, so that means if your light is not working, it is giving you alarm and it is working fine. Okay, so just press it and anti-clockwise, you can see I have taken out this one, so it will give alarm after some time, and after testing you can put it back. So your navigational publications, your library, make sure you have all the updated navigational publications on board, and all are to latest edition. So this is the most important thing that the one inspector will come and check. Okay, so obviously you check your updated editions by downloading from IMO website. IMO website have this updated edition list, so download it from IMO website. Make sure your BHF portable radios are working fine, and also they will come and check that your BHF portable radios are working fine in another channel, not in channel 16, some other channel, maybe 06 or 72, and they will check it with your ship BHF. So make sure it is working fine and properly fully charged. Regarding your fire alarm, as a duty officer, make sure that you know how to isolate your fire panel, and also this panel must be isolated by master's order. So when you are doing this, obviously captain will give you order, so but you have, as a duty officer, you must know how to isolate, because sometimes engine room will work. Okay, so you have to isolate it, so just know how to isolate it, and also the procedure must be kept nearby this panel. So also make sure that your charts are all up to date as per your buoys, and also your ADP, ENPs are all up to date. So obviously inspector will come and they will check that your ADPs are up to date and your ENPs are up to date, and also your charts are all up to date. So you have to show your inspector also large buoys, last buoys, all the charts are up to date. Make sure that this is your telegraph logger. So when your engines are running and testing your engines, you are testing your engines, all the records are there. And also when you are in port and departure port, you are signing your telegraph logger. This is your steering. Make sure that your steering procedures are properly kept. Your steering procedures are properly kept near your steering. Also make sure that your bridge is properly decorated by your company policies, so your drug and alcohol policy and UKC policies, then master standing order, then all other your policies are there on the board, and also master standing order is signed by all the duty officers. And also when you have a change of officers, you have to change the name of officers. If you have the change of master, then you have to change the name of master, and also signed by all the duty officers. Also you know the master standing order properly, what is the instructions given. So make sure you know properly your master standing orders, all the instructions. And in radar, one more thing, important thing, the inspector will come and ask you, show him this performance test, how you do the performance test. Make sure you know how to test your radar performance. So just make sure you know about this. And also before vetting inspector comes and inspection occurs, you have to check that your radar working fine, and you can check your radar working fine by checking your performance test. So make sure your radar has the performance test according to its manual. And make sure also that you have the critical equipment list on bridge pasted on the bulkhead. Also your deviation cards, your compass error obviously will take, compass error book they will check. And also you must have deviation card, maybe deviation card prepared by ship or maybe by shore. You have to be that on board, or also your compass error must be complied with the deviation card. Make sure that you are properly maintaining your GPS logbook, then properly maintaining your radar logbook. And in your radar logbook, this radar state page is present, because inspector can ask you to show him this page. So this is the radar range. When you are testing performance test, what should be the range, and that page you must have to show to inspector. Make sure you are recording your compass error in every watch. Every duty officer in every watch they are recording compass error. Okay, and your compass error complies with your deviation card. So they will come and check your compass error book, also signed by master. So make sure you are properly maintaining your compass error book, properly maintaining your anchor log. So when you are at anchorage, also take range and bearing from land or fixed object. Do not take from floating objects. Okay, so you maintain your BHF log also. So BHF log, you know, when you are doing any conversation with the port control, so you have to log it down. So now regarding deck log book, so deck log book or bell book is the most important thing also. So you have to know how you will properly maintain this logbook. So make sure what are the most important things should be in the logbook. You are writing this properly, and also when you are doing navigational lights, signal lights on LED lamp checked, so you are writing this test, okay, every weekly. And also you write down that what time your fire round taken by your third officer or AB, also what checklist you are complying during your watch, and also your GMDSS equipments are working fine. And also in every watch you have to do this steering test. When you are at sea, your vessel is on autopilot, but you have to do your steering test in every watch. So also you log down in every watch that you are doing the steering test. Okay, and also you write down that you have tested and checked satisfactory your all the bridge equipments and signal lights, navigational lights. And also GPS 1 and GPS 2 position you check and write down found satisfactory. Okay, and obviously your weathers and everything, weather, temperature, wind, you write down in your logbook. That is most important. So basically also when you have started bridge watch level 2, when you have started bridge watch level 1, also should be in the logbook. Okay, that is also the most important thing they will check. Okay. And You write down all this during departure and arrival time. Your all the main engine tested, then steering tested, everything in your logbook. When you master have taken con, duties has taken con, all this you write down in the logbook. Also your main security level, and all this important, they will come and check. So you maintain your logbook properly. And one more important thing regarding your checklist when you are departing or arrival of port. So you have to complete all your checklist. So make sure you have arrival, departure checklist, then breach checklist, and onboard alcohol test. Secondary officer is in charge, so you also doing the alcohol test, your passage plan file, your pilot card file, and make sure your pilot card you are filling properly. So make sure that your pilot card have radar angle for neutral effect, whatever they are on as per your company policy, you're using that one also. And your pilot card also should have some important things should be there, so I'll discuss about this also. So in your pilot card you must have to know how you'll find out your air draft and freeboard, and also which TNPs you are using, and your pilot card must have written that your exit safety parameters are also there, and also you are writing your company UPC policies, also safety parameter discussed with the master. So all these things you have to write down. So friends, so many things are there that you have to comply with, so it's very important you don't miss any items. So please follow the BIQ chapter 4, so it will guide you. And have a bon voyage and nice voyage. Take care of yourself, and there are so many things, maybe some other videos I'll discuss about all this. So enjoy the life and make sure you have no observations. Just follow the regulations and you will see you have no observations. Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you so much. If you like my video, you can subscribe, and so that all my videos you will get easily. Thank you everybody.